Hey chaps, welcome to another fragrance review. Firstly, a small apology. I did say I was going to do this about 5 or 6 weeks ago, but you know what it's like. Life gets in the way, time gets away from you, and I didn't. But it's here today. And this one is for Angel Share, which I'm sure everybody who is a fragrance fan has heard of. I bought Angel Share at Christmas for my wife. But I have owned one of its main clones, which is Khamrah, for about a year. The reason I didn't buy Angel Share when it came out was I think I just bought something else. And obviously, like I say all the time, I have to save up for this stuff. I only buy 2 or 3 like niche ones a year. And I just bought Carlisle by Parfum de Marly. And I'm very glad I did because that's lovely. Anyway, but I bought that for my wife for Christmas. Kamara, I bought, like I said, about a year ago. I think when all the buzz was going on about Angel Shell, I think it has been out for 2 years or so. But yeah, bought Kamara because it was about 80 pence and no, it's 20 quid. And I'm not a massive gourmand fan. They're not really for me. But I thought for 20 quid, with the hype machine, I'd seen some really good reviews of it. I got it, sprayed it. Thought for me personally, it was a little bit too feminine. For me, I mean, obviously anything goes these days. But yeah, I'll just put it to one side. The missus wore it, but she went off to John Lewis just before Christmas with her daughter, and she came back and she said, "Oh, I really like that Angel Share. It's lovely." So I thought, what a result! Didn't know what to get for Christmas. Excellent. So that's why. And I bought the 100ml. I'll get to that in a minute. Why I bought the 100ml one. But yeah, so and this is just really my feelings on it. I mean, I call them reviews. There are, as I always say, there's people out there that will do all the note breakdowns. They'll go through it. They've probably got far better noses than me. But this is my little look-see at it, and a regular bloke off the street who's paid hard-earned money for it. Not quite sure they all pay money for them, but who knows. Anyway, so Angel Share is. I'm going to do this first. I was going to do 2 reviews. I'm going to review this, review that, and then do like a comparison. And I thought, let's just knock it all in together. I do tend to waffle on. So let's just waffle on in one video. So yeah, Angel Share. Well, firstly, bottle's lovely. I mean, that's class. That's like going into a really expensive restaurant or bar and then giving you a cognac in a lovely glass. Although the lid lets it down a bit, it's plasticky, but it's still nice. I mean, it's class. But yeah, so the main thing I get off of this, the main difference between this and that one, which I'll come to, is cognac. You get a beautiful cognac off the top of this. Man, it's awesome. I will do a little spray test in a minute just to show you. You can see my reaction. I'll try and talk you through it. And that's beautiful. You get the beautiful cognac, and then it settles into a lovely sort of, you get this really nice sort of, like it's like a caramel praline I get off of it. And the caramel's got like vanilla with it running through it all, like it's like tonka. And then it sort of all dries off but blends in nicely. So you start at the top with the cognac, going down into the sort of like the praline and the tonka and the vanillas, and it sort of settles into like a lovely sandalwood, and it all blends beautifully together. It projects excellently, no problems at all. I find it's a room filler. I really do find it's a room filler. It is a compliment getter. People really pick up on it. They like it. So it leaves a nice scent trail behind, and I get good 8 to 10 hours, 3 or 4 sprays. Anyone who's seen my other videos, I've said before, I don't hold fragrance particularly well, but my wife, 1 spray, wow, that lasts all day, no problem. I love smelling it on her. I like smelling it on me, because you know it's great stuff. Whether or not it's worth 300 quid, that will be up to you. I personally, I've spent 300 quid on far worse things than this before, but that's another story. Yeah, so yeah, really good stuff. Kamara, let's move over. This again I've had for years, so it's macerated nicely. The reason I didn't have this and then jump straight onto that was because I wasn't massively in love with it. I feel it is a bit feminine for my tastes, and by that I mean it's a little bit too sweet. Obviously, if you're really into sweet gourmand fragrances, you know, there you go. I think it's gone to about 35 quid on Amazon now, but that's still good for. I think it's 100ml, whatever it is. It's a nice bottle. Again, they've nailed the Let's Copy that one, or be inspired by, because this is a plastic cap as well. But it, it's all right. For 30 quid, I mean, that's all right. But again, what you're missing off of this one is, so like I said on that one, top note cognac, and that sits with it all the way through. I don't get any cognac off that at all. I did have a little sneaky look at the note breakdown on that one on Fragrantica, and it's got about 13, 14 different notes in it, but it doesn't list cognac. But so I don't quite know where people are getting the booze from. I certainly don't pick up any booze when I spray it, whereas I do with that one. So let's just do a quick spray test, and I will talk you through what I am smelling. That one, excellent sprayer on that. Oh, you get that cognac straight away. I better be easy with that. My missus will be thinking I'm on the piss when she gets in later. Right, that one. So Khamrah, instant sweet. Instant sweetness. Sweetness is the first thing that hits you, I find, with this. But you do get that sort of praline. It is a praline, caramelly praline. So I get straight off the top of that, sweetness, caramel, praline, vanilla, a bit of vanilla in there, and I think the vanilla will push through a bit more than that anyway. So this one, oh, it's like a fine cognac. It's like not that I drink a lot of cognac, but that's like a fine, a whiskey kind of, brandy. Wowzers. Yeah, that's class. I mean, it's funny when I do these, and you look at like a genuine versus a sort of a dupe or a copy, clone, whatever you want to call it. You do get a difference in. I feel you do get a real big difference in the quality of the blend, and it's the blend. So they can hit the notes, but they can't necessarily get the blend. It doesn't all sit in right. And this, wowzers, this sits in. It sits in lovely. I mean, it's you can feel that cognac already, and you can like bringing in behind it a sort of vanilla, more of a caramelly vanilla, and it's that tonka pushing through. Man, it's so deep. It's so deep. I mean, it's if gourmand's your thing, then you can't go wrong. It smells class. I mean, it smells like money. Ooh, it's money. That smells like money. And a bit carpet. But yeah, so whereas let's go back to this one. I mean, it's pleasant, it's pleasant, but it's a little bit like you've got. It's just too sweet. It's almost, if someone made you made you a cup of tea and you have one sugar, or no sugar. And then someone makes it for you and they put one extra sugar in, right? That's what it's like. It's just there's too much sugar in it. I'm pretty sure that's not how they make fragrance, sweetness in fragrance. But yeah. So yeah, that's you're getting it's a vanilla, it's a caramel, it's a vanilla caramel. That's how I look at it. You could say praline, but this one, wow, I mean, I have one more little sniff of that. Absolute class. Absolute class. You can, is it worth 300 quid? I don't know. But I tell you what, I love wearing it. I love it, like I said, love spraying it on the wife. And yeah, I think it's, for me, I've spent 300 quid on far worse things than that. Trust me. So yeah, yeah, that's lovely. So I would say, is it worth buying Khamrah? Is Khamrah worth it for 35 quid? If you're really into gourmet and you like sweet fragrances, yes, it does that really well. It, like I said, I get projection wise, it doesn't project as well as that, but it still projects. It's length. I mean, I did wear it. I seem to remember I was up burying my nose into my arm after about 6-7 hours, so I don't think it lasted all that well. Although again, I haven't worn it for ages. But then again, so it's obviously macerated more now. But again, because they're not really my bag, I don't really I won't reach for it. My wife's used it a few times. I mean, you can see how much is gone. I mean, not much. I've had it a year, so it can't be that popular amongst the lady folk in the house. But yeah, so that'll be my conclusion. I would say this is, I think that was worth the money. I really do. I'm glad I bought it. I didn't buy it off the back of loving that. As I said, I bought it off the back because my wife said she smelled it and she liked it. I'm really glad she did because it's a really nice one for the collection. So yeah, I would. If gourmets are your thing, you're not going to get a better one than that. I personally don't think. But yeah, so I think that's great. You know, one little side note before we go is these are refillable, and they say this. Killian say it on their website that the bottles are refillable. Obviously, some sort of eco. Don't throw shit away. If you chuck it in the river, a dolphin might swallow it or whatever. But you wouldn't want to throw it away. It's a lovely bottle. But what I would say is if I can take that cap off, because I think you just unscrew the cap, I'm not going to do it because I don't want that shit everywhere, and I really will smell like I've been up the pub. If I can unscrew it, you can unscrew it. Unscrupulous people flogging them on eBay can unscrew them. So I personally would, without a shadow of a doubt, not be buying this on eBay secondhand or unopened or open, sorry, because you don't know what you're going to be buying. So do not buy this secondhand. Okay, just save up for it. Do what the rest of us do. Save up for it. Chuck on a carb, whatever you do, and buy it. But it's great. So yeah, that would be my thing. Buy that for 35 quid, no problem. You're going to get a lovely gourmet fragrance, but it's all right. That one is sensational. So it was worth the hype. I'm glad my wife liked it. My next video upload, I am going to do one on my favourite niche. I've got about 20 odd. So I'm just gonna try and keep it to under 10 minutes. My favourite niche and why. I know what, if any of you see my other videos, you're all going to be saying, what's the point, watch that? Because it's going to be eventness. It might not be. It might be, but it might not be. And the other one I'm going to do is, I think, the perfect date night fragrance. The one that I think is going to give you the best chance of impressing the person that you're trying to impress. For what a knobhead like me, my opinion on that is. But anyway, so I'll put them up anyway. Anyway, well, thanks very much for watching, and like I said, comments below. Whoever want to ask me anything, I'm more than happy to answer. Thanks a lot. Take care.